Do you have the gift of gab and like talking about interesting topics? Are you often called opinionated by your friends and family? Then come to Anchor where you can be all of the above and get paid for it. Along with being one of the easiest systems to create contact with, Anchor supplies everything you need and can be used from your smartphone or computer. They even distribute your content for you so that you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Just download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Hello, Internet family. This is Anjanette Potter, also known as Adam's Rib, and this is day 3. This is post 3, actually on day 3 of 21 Days of Black Feminism. These are going to be posted on my AnjanetteSpeak blog if you are interested in looking at it, or on my Anchor podcast, or on my YouTube blog, Adam's Rib TV. So the next person, like as I said on the last post, the next person that I'm going to honor is Kimberly Ann Foster. Kimberly Ann Foster is relatively young. She's probably about 30. She is the founder and editor-in-chief of the blog site For Harriet. So For Harriet is a multi-platform digital community for Black women. So For Harriet reaches over 2 million visitors per month. Miss Foster is a writer and cultural critic. I look at her YouTube channel, which is her blog. She's also on Patreon. She also has For Harriet, which is her blog. Also is on Facebook, Twitter, and she also is on Instagram, I believe. So she, in addition to doing For Harriet, she also hosts Black Girls Gather, which is a national series of live events. You can book those through contacting her at KimberlyNFoster.com. She built her first website at 9 years old. She launched For Harriet during her junior year at Harvard University, July 18th, 2010, where she earned her degree in African American Studies. So For Harriet has been featured in the New York Times, Essence Magazine, Forbes, and Huntington Post. She has also written for The Guardian, Newsweek, Quarter, Fortune. She's also appeared on OWN, HuffPost Live, NPR, MSNBC, BET.com, and several other radio stations to comment on culture and current events. She has been named as one of Forbes 30 under 30 in 2016. Essence Magazine named her as one of 50 founders to watch. She's been recognized by Teen Vogue and Huffington Post. She also travels nationwide to give talks at universities across the U.S. So one of the reasons why like I said, this year I want to do a little bit something different. I don't want to just go and do the same old 29 people that we would do every year. I will be going to historical figures like Dorothy Pittman Hughes and trailblazers, but I also am going to be talking about new feminists of the new millennium, women who are currently giving talks, writing, and giving commentary on feminist issues, and especially issues of intersectionality. Because those are issues that affect women of color. because we're not only oppressed as far as sexism goes, we also have the extra burden of having to deal with racial issues as well. So most of the time, I remember one of my favorite authors and people to read in Essence magazine was Dr. Beverly Goldsby Grant. And one of the things Miss Grant used to say in her book, Best Kind of Loving, is that by the time white America catches a cold, Black community has walking pneumonia. And whether it's drugs, sexism, violence, anything, it usually has to hit white people before anybody takes it seriously. So by the time anybody recognizes that there's a problem, we are, like I said, walking pneumonia. we got it really bad and everything. So I highly recommend that you go to the For Harriet YouTube channel. She's also on Patreon, and hear her thoughts. She gives commentary on everything, and one of the things I like is she does give the feminist viewpoint. And granted, we are feminism, especially feminism and Black feminism. You are going to hear a lot of different opinions as to whether or not all feminists are not cookie cutters. So you may hear some stuff with her that you think and go, really? and that's okay. I mean, it's okay to be objective, but she's very smart. I think that you will really like her. I recommend that you go to her YouTube as well and hear her thoughts and perspectives on different things. Whether or not you agree is going to depend on a whole lot of things, but she is really good, very sensitive to very sensitive when it comes to issues of Black feminism and how race and racism and sexism intersect to kind of conspire against us. Anyway, this one has been a little short because even though I listened to her a lot, I wasn't able to find a whole lot of written information in black and white on her to pin down and go, this is her. But I think if you're older, she will be a blessing to you because, it's nice to hear certain things on, it's nice to hear a fresh perspective. It's nice to hear a young person sometimes. You're never too old to have young mentors. Young people can teach you a lot if you listen. We sometimes wonder, what's wrong with this generation? I think that when you listen to her, you will be okay with this generation. So, anyway, I will be, getting on the next one. I'm and everything together. I also will be, like I said before, I won't just be doing 20 episodes of Black feminism. I will also be talking in depth about different aspects of feminism this month as well. All of what I'm saying is going to be on the AnjanetteSpeak Hello, you have reached the message line for Adams Rib Media Ministry. If you would like to give me a shout out, recommend some topics for discussion, or give an opinion about some topics that I've already discussed, either here on my podcast or on my blogs, leave me a message and I will get right back to you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.